Hey y'all, T-Ham141 here, and today I am going to be reconnecting and doing a review of my Renogy 200-watt solar panel kit with PWM charger. Here are my solar panels. Now we use these 200 watt, each one of these panels is 100 watts. Just until this last spring we used these panels, and I gotta tell you, they did great. Now I switched to MPPT charger, and that has made a world of difference. We went up to 1,000 watts of solar panels rather than the little 200 watt system. So today I am going to show you how to hook it up. And guys, I gotta tell you, if you're just starting out, if you're camping, if you got a camper or a camp, this 200 watt system will keep you in power. You gotta watch the power. In the winter it was a little hard because it didn't collect all that much sun because, well, our sun, you can see where our sun is. Mom always told me not to look in the eyes of the sun, but Mama, that's where the fun is. It didn't get a whole lot of sun in the winter, so we kind of fell short on that. But in the summer, and when we were camping, and when we were in the camper here, this worked great running our camper. I had 2 or 3 batteries, 12 volt batteries. This is a 12 volt system. It ran our camper fine. We never had a problem with the camper not having power when we needed it. Now, there were times when we had to run the generator. Every once in a while you start up the generator. We used a percolator on the stove for most of that. You just adjust, you know. But okay, so let's get into this, y'all. Okay, guys, there is literally no way I can screw this up. I say, but I'll probably end up finding a way. Because these connectors are all one way. Okay? Now, what I'm going to... Let's fall here. I'm trying to make it so you can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook the negative of one panel into the positive of the other panel. And they click in there just like that. My negative, and this one, this is my negative. This will be my positive. Okay, but before I hook this up, I got to put a hole in that wall. I want to run my cable through the wall before I hook up to the solar panels. I don't want these wires being live while I try to snake it through where I need to take it. And when you're dealing with solar panels, even the small ones, you're dealing with amps. 1 amp can kill you. Ends here, they have covers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that. So I'm going to remove this from the negative wire. So now I have one on the positive wire and I don't on the negative wire. Okay. All right. Now it's as simple as plug and play. This is my negative. This is my negative wire. I can only plug it in to one thing here. There. Make sure they're nice and firm. This is my positive wire. See, it's marked. I left the thing on there. This is positive. Positive. Now those wires are now hot. Okay, I hooked the panels in series, but I'm hooking the batteries up in parallel, which means positive to positive, negative to negative. So this is a 12 volt system. Now you always hook positives up first. You always unhook negatives. I got both my batteries going the same way. Now these are batteries that I had on my system before, and they got where they didn't want to hold any power. But they're good enough for, like, if I wanted to run a light in here. I have a little inverter, 400 watt inverter, so if I wanted to run a light or anything small, the wires with battery to battery are expensive. Okay, now I'm going to hook up the negative to negative. And that will give me one big 12 volt battery. Each one has 109 amp hours. So at 1 amp drawing, that gives me 218 amp hours of energy. An amp hour is 1 hour at 1 amp draw. That's how many you got, 109 of them. Wattage equals amps times volts. So if you have 10 watts, then you could have 2 amps at 5 volts. Amps are the power, and volts are what move the power. Okay, so that is hooked up. The batteries are hooked up. I have one big 12 volt, 218 amp hour battery right now by hooking these two together. Now, before you hook your solar panels into your charge controller, you have to hook your charge controller to the batteries. That will tell the charge controller, because these charge controllers are, this is a 12 or 24 volt charge controller. Alright? So I have to hook it to the batteries so the batteries can say, hey, we're 12 volt to the charge controller, so it doesn't start trying to charge at 24 volts. Again, be careful not to cut your wires with your knife when you cut the tabs off. Try not to slice your finger open. But what I'm going to do first is I am going to hook these into the batteries first. Always hook up your positive first. This is marked solar panels, 2 hookups, and battery, 2 hookups. Now this is the positive from the battery. Alright, now I hooked the positive here. So I am going to come across to the other battery and hook up to the negative of the other battery. Why? Because I am treating this as one big battery. These are from batteries from Walmart, the 27 DCs. I am now using, in the house, I have switched to the 29 DCs. They have some more amp hours to them. This is hard because I'm right-handed. Now I'm going to the negative because this is the negative. And sticking it up in there to making sure it's the battery port. And I'm getting a reading on the batteries. This is a nice LED display. There's nothing coming from the solar panels. It's telling me it's at night. The battery is, it's saying half full, but there's, and 12.2 is the condition of the batteries, and it's 12 volt, and it read it as lead batteries. Remember, I undid the negative, so that would make this the positive, because I took the cap off it from the solar panels. Alright, so this is the positive. Let's see if we can make it bring sparks. Now when I hook the solar panels up, always hook up the positive first. You can see I got the sun coming in. We got a little over half a battery. 12.7 volts. Boost, which means that it's giving it all the juice that the solar panels can give it. 12 volt battery. And then it tells what kind of battery it is. Alright. Now Once the batteries are full, once it reads the batteries as full, it will go to float, which means it's just keeping the batteries at a certain spot. I've got two other batteries that I want to hook up to this, but my battery to battery cables did not come in. I'm using ones that I bought for something else. If you got any value out of this video today, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and because that really helps the channel to help me keep producing good content and to know what you guys like. Hit that little notification bell so that you get notified every time I come out with new content. Alright, this is T-Ham141. As Red Green said, if the women don't find you handsome, let them at least find you handy. Y'all have a great day, and God bless.